Yeah, I think we learned not to go through checkpoints with disguises on because they very quickly called me and Anoki out on that, as far as singling us out for needing to talk to us in private. He 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 was just very insistent that us not being regulars don't get privileged seating. Mm, yep. Thea's idea of take her into an alley and threaten her at knife point, solid plan B. Look, we're not really strong on ideas here. That seemed like a good one. Maybe not the best idea in the current climate of town, but this is a no ideas or bad ideas kind of group. Mm, Where is my other D10? Mm. I can try the talking. We have established that we're all very bad at the talking, so uh, I wrote down what my thought last week. I just gotta find it. Um, If she blows us off, though, I'm definitely not gonna like double down on the talking, and we'll figure it out from there. So I'm finding this screenshot I took of it. Uh, to basically be like, we heard a rumor that one of the barmaids here has seen the inside of a certain noble's room of pain, and what might one need to do to make introductions with that barmaid, or maybe find their way into that room. Just not necessarily being like, we know it's you, but just be like, look, I've heard, and that is something that I'm interested in. How would one? That's that would be plan A then, and plan B will be Knife Alley. I'm willing for Knife Alley to be plan like E if anyone has any other ideas. But I've got plan A and plan knife. So anything in between is up to you guys. I will ask for a drink refill, and then I will, as casually as possible and way cooler than Jenna can ever deliver because Jenna is not cool. Uh, I'll just be like, so we heard that one of the barmaids here has seen inside of a certain noble's special fun room of eccentricity, let's say. And I was wondering how one might get to see that place themselves. Well, I will just not say any names, but I will very much intentionally look at the very scary woman I'm sitting next to, and back at our waitress and just be like, I've just heard that it's, a fun time. So I guess I would be the one asking. Oh, we definitely don't want him dead. No, sorry. That's just her face. It happens sometimes. I forget that other people don't find it as adorable as me. Um, I can see the confusion though. Also, to cla to clarify, if I wanted to kill him, I would have pointed in that direction, and I will point to zero. He's much less fun. I just look at everyone at the table and go, I used to be good at this, right? Like I used to be okay at this. Why is this so hard right now? That's very fair. Look, I now that we're paying for bread and stuff, we have heard that there is a very specific item that I personally would like to experience in person. So, an invitation to I'm since she asked for the name, I'm just gonna say it. To Merrick's house. No, no, no. I've heard a very specific item in his possession that if I could get it in the shops, trust me, I would not be going. I'm not super impressed with the man himself from what I've seen, which makes me curious how he has things of that nature. I don't know. I just wasn't really expecting that of him from our slight interactions, I guess. Well, at least nice to know that's a shared opinion, I suppose. Merrick's a cheap ass and a poser, guys. Hmm. Well, I guess if we're going to speak that bluntly, if you get us where we need to go, is there any of his things you would like for yourself that you feel you deserve more? Fair enough. Okay. As long as it's not the one thing we also want. Okay. I think we're doing good enough to not have to resort to stabbing. So, any alley that Thea is in is is the knife alley. Are you comfortable continuing this conversation here, or should we make arrangements for a more less obvious, less crowded location? Just exercising more of the caution. Siren's just gonna look at all her companions and try to get a read on, like, look, how much do we want to tell her? Because, yep, we aren't really anyone important, all things considered. What we want specifically is to. We we have business that we need to take care of before we leave, and unfortunately, obstacles in our way are preventing it from being taken care of. One of those obstacles can be remedied if we can get into Merrick's room of pain. There's something there we need. If you need more specifics, I will tell you, but for the sake of caution, I am trying to play it close to the vest, you understand. We'll do our best. To be fair, Meta, last time we broke into anywhere of Merrick's, we did not kill anyone. They were already dead. They were undead, but we we do have a couple of poisons and stuff too, Meta. So yeah, I think we could manage that. And honestly, if not, you know our faces, so you could very easily turn us in for money. So fair enough. Either way, we promise we will do everything within our power to not kill anyone. Very fair. I we are not here to try to fuck up what you've got going. Like I said, we don't want to fuck up what you have going on. Okie dokie. We will meet her out there. Trying to show a little trust. I think we could make that happen. And I just kind of look at Ray like, one, we're not pulling it, and two, if we don't stop what's happening with the dirge and it becomes the abyss, she's definitely not wrong. I think we could. I mean, as long as we can find it, I don't see why we couldn't make that happen. Just remember, if you do pull a shitty card, it's not our fault, and if you pull a good card, we are so nice. Okay. Do you know if there are any sorts of like magical traps we should be aware of? Fuss. Cool. All right. Well, assuming we don't die, um, I look forward to buying drinks from you again with a really good tip, hopefully. Thank you for, you know, being the least weird asshole person that I've actually encountered in this city. Fair enough. Yeah, I assume we weren't even walking in the direction of her house. This is just a nice street. Sounds like we're stealing away to pay for the information that she just gave us. So I've I've heard enough stories to not want to actually pull from that. So imagine a deck of cards, and if you pull a card, you could get the ability to wish for whatever you wanted. Or you could get something terrible. Although, I mean, we don't know if they're the same here, so maybe it's just like all happy things. I doubt it, but Hopefully just as easy as snagging whatever relic of tar is in there. Was that a question, or is there more to that thought? Having met Merrick, I'm going to assume he's arrogant enough to think they're safe in his little room. Obviously, we will check for traps before we just grab shit, but I imagine that he, based on previous interactions, I am willing to bet he's like, my stone little statue guy at the door is plenty. Also, I have guards and like a mansion and stuff, so who would ever be cocky enough to steal from me? It's not like I hired any guards and then didn't fucking pay them for starting actual tiny personal war with an army of Yosai to keep them from crashing my wedding. That would be a crazy thing for them to still hold over me. What time is it? If we wait till tomorrow night, it'll give us a little more time. Yeah, I was. If we go anywhere tonight, it would be to uh this. It would be to this branch of the rebellion. Yeah. Yeah. Mhm. Cool. Yeah, we heard. I definitely think Rorik is in the mindset of enemy of my enemy currently, just out of desperation, and I can't really hold that against him. I'm not saying it's smart, but I empathize. Oh, you do. I, I honestly, I think that maybe if you're going to start infighting, that should wait till after the rebellion is finished, and then you can fight over what remains. But dividing forces now, it's only going to make you easier to squish. Well, when both snakes have their own ideas, it's a little hard to do that. If the help you need is to tell Rorik not to do what he's doing, I am not comfortable telling an adult what to do with their life. It is, and we have already discussed that with him. I think he's willing to take the risk to get the rewards. So, in all of the conversations you've had with him about this, have you actually told him that you don't want him to take the risk because you're concerned for his well-being, or have you just told him that he's being stupid? Because, like, I don't get me wrong, we have not known you guys very long, but you started a rebellion together, so I assume you care about each other's well-being at least minimally. Maybe if you explain to him that you are, yeah, because just telling him don't do it because it's dumb, that's the fastest way to get him to do it. That's honestly. But explaining to him the real, actual, deep down feelings as to why you're not happy with this, especially if, like you said, he is used to taking risks to get rewards, he probably doesn't really understand why you're so mad about it. I think you just try to talk to him before it gets to that. Because I do think the main reason he's doing it is fear, especially considering that in the moment that it happened, everything was very much going poorly, and he did what he felt he needed to do to save people. I mean, to be fair, the conversation that we had also made it very much feel like we didn't have other options, so I can definitely see how he might feel that way. That's sort of the crux of powerful beings wanting you to throw in with them. Maybe he just doesn't realize how close you actually are. Possibly. Oh, go ahead. I think that maybe you should try to talk. And I know that if you are the one to reach out to try to talk, he's probably going to start off being a little defensive because He thinks he's doing something helpful. I'm just not sure he sees. I think that he thinks that the boat is further away than you do, and that making this deal that he's trying to make is just going to slow the boat down and make the jump easier, and that he doesn't really realize that it might be actually pushing the boat further and further away. But I definitely know that him thinking that he has to do his own rebellion because you're not helping him anymore is only going to convince him to make that deal. And whatever is being whispered to him is probably convincing him that you are against him. So you fighting him is only confirming that. I think it is definitely to be handled with an abundance of caution. Just try not to start with the fight. That's not going to help. Hmm. That and definitely don't start with this because it's not going to help things, but just as a potential Hail Mary point of fact. Yes, there's other government things happening that need to be fixed and rebelled against. But a lot of the problems in the city right now are because the Dirge has their thumb in everything, and they're all doing things under the direction of a very similar deity. If you win with the help of the deity offering him help, then in the end, you're still not serving you're still not serving yourselves. It's touchy because, emotions and rash decisions and desperation make you do very dumb things. Until tomorrow evening, actually. Hmm. You don't happen to know anything about the ins and outs of Hati Americ's uh residence? Well, if anyone asks, we didn't ask. Good luck. Mm-hmm. While we are set up here, Siren's gonna ask Rhea what our inventory looks like of the drow poison and invisibility potions and basically just what resources we have as far as that goes. If we can think of questions for the Sphinx, possibly do that before we rest. Just because if we don't answer the question, it does hurt us. Um, I mean, other than like how many guards, stuff like that, but even that's usually pretty vague. That's probably expired by now. It might be useful. Yeah, I didn't know we had that, so it might be handy if we do run into a guard and we want to ask them what the answer to the question the statue asks is, if they would know. But that would be a situation in which we are also spotted, so not ideal. Unless we just want to be really reckless and barge in, take Merrick hostage, make him drink it, tell us the answer, and show him to the room himself. But I feel like that would definitely go against the no murdering people thing. I believe so. That is the one thing about breaking in at night is what if he's in the room using it when we break in? I don't want to see that. I mean, he could be using it during the day too. Look, I believe in us. Yeah, but it's also just getting closer and closer to dawn, and my main reason for putting it off was I don't want to still be in that room when the sun rises and we need to leave. Um, because we could still go later in the night, just not, I don't know. Hmm. Is I was about to say, is there a way into the basement from the mhm, or the fucking mausoleum that we already went to? We already crawled through shit once today. Was that today? I don't remember. Mm-mm. No, computer, I don't want to be logged into my work Google. It's not the information I'm looking for. Mm-mm. I mean, if we think we can get there, get in, and get out before dawn today, we can do it today. If not, we can just go later in the evening tomorrow to give ourselves more time. All right. Well, in that case, what time is it and how long does it take us to get there? As long as we know it's like not like several hours after midnight, I guess. All right, I guess we should go then. My only, I guess, sort of question was be a question that Siren wouldn't ask, but Meta I'm gonna ask. Uh, I assume the answer is no because we're leaving Anoki at the rebellion. If anyone thought it would be a good idea to take her hat of disguise in case we need to pretend to be Merrick or his wife, or that is not a question for me. Mm-hmm. In my head, the guards in the long hallways are just like the part in Ocarina of Time where you're breaking into the palace and you have to just time it right to not be seen by the guards. Hmm. I mean, to be fair, from a meta standpoint, if we were just leaving people behind based on stealth, we'd leave Rhea here. Cool. She can do it non-lethally, probably, if she wanted to. Please want to, just this one time. If it gets us the thing that fixes Zero's "Let's punch God in the face" problem, yeah, we owe her a lot actually. So, hmm. Siren's just like, I'm so sorry that you decided to be with someone who likes to make friends. I don't. My bad. Yeah. To be fair, we had planned on coming and checking in on the rebellion here anyway. So, yeah. If we if we think we have time to do it tonight, we might as well do it tonight. I don't think we're going to be more prepared tomorrow. The only real argument for doing it tomorrow would be if we did have questions to ask the Sphinx, but I can't think of any specifically. Well, think slowly while I go pee. Look, I do know you, and I believe in your ability to think of questions, okay? Also, Amanda Wallace told me to tell you that Bill's not scary. Stop reading tone into his emails. He's just an awkward little weirdo like the rest of us. I I I told her, I'm like, no, he's just doing the thing where he insists that he's correct when he's wrong, and she's like, yeah, no, he's got tiny dick energy, and that happens sometimes. And I'm like, okay, thank you. I'll pass that along. Jenna, I am confirmed. I'm getting off at 4 on Friday. I'm back. Yeah, she was complaining about how shitty those flyers looked, and she's like, "Is there no quality control in the department?" And I said, "No." And she's like, "There are 4 supervisors. How are none of them looking at what goes in and out?" And I'm like, if anyone from work finds this stream, I will eat my shirt. We It does. It's automatically set to private. It doesn't go public. I can pause it if you feel more comfortable. It will not hurt my feelings.